Well, good to have you back, and it's time we actually go through the papers and what is trending on the papers this morning. But before we do that, we have a guest in the house who's going to be helping us through the review of the papers this morning. And I'm talking about Rotarian Chuks Nweke, a public affairs commentator. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for joining us on the program this morning. Well, we'll be reviewing our papers this morning. Let's kickstart with the stories making the headlines on our ABS website.
Please seal off Anambra State House of Assembly due to scarce security breaches. Anambra stakeholders caution state lawmakers against causing political turmoil. Impeachment. ABGA suspends 3 Anambra lawmakers. 7th Zik lecture holds at NAU, that is Anambra Zakiwe Oka today. Boy 19 apprehended with human parts and blood in Oka. Southeast stakeholders brainstorm in Oka on creating better business environment. Anambra Assembly Clerk Udo debunks media report of plenary by faction of warring House members. All right.
All the stories making the headlines on our ABS website. Which would you want to start with?
Do we start with the things happening in State Assembly? Yeah, it has been sold off by the police.
The impeachment saga. ABGA suspends 3 Anambra lawmakers.
Well, for me, what is happening in Anambra State House of Assembly today is a normal occurrence in a democratic setting. You know, and well, it is all about trying to make the organization, the assembly work better. Okay. If the other faction, I don't even want to think of the personalities involved. Okay. They may have reasons to have done that. But what I, as a person, would have even wanted the party to do is to look into the problem that is ravaging the house. Anambra has been enjoying political stability, you know, for a long time. And this is a kind of news we had so many years back during the PDP and when lawmakers were throwing. We had 2 speakers. And it is not good for us today. But what my take on this is that the APGA as a party should. For me, as a person, I don't agree with the chairman just coming to suspend the 3 members. Okay. This will cause more problem.
Okay, because
you know that they have already they've already organized a reconciliatory committee to look into matters at the thing that happens during the primaries, and maybe suspending these people will help them to investigate properly. You know,
because that was the reason. According to the chairman, he says he's suspending these 3 people until they actually appear at the disciplinary panel for further.
Why would you suspend them before they appear? Why not let them appear? And then, if they are guilty of anything, then all right. The party is supreme.
It's still on the matter. Police has sealed off the Anambra State House of Assembly due to security breaches, and it's still on the same issue of the panel, the House of Assembly saga, the impeachment happened.
Well, that is the police. Police is doing their job. If you don't, you know, you have camps. The 3 legislators can get their supporters come to cause problem within the assembly complex. You know, yes, police moving into that place is cool.
All right, let's move on and look into this one. Is a boy 19 apprehended with human parts and blood in Oka. A 19-year-old boy. He was caught yesterday with human parts and then blood all over him.
This is I had that news, and for me, it is another dimension that we're seeing in Anambra and Oka particularly. It is a long time we had this type of story, you know, especially a 19-year-old boy. What may be the cause of this problem now is what I wouldn't say, but I can definitely narrow it down to politics. Either the guy is doing it for somebody, or the guy wants to do it for ritual purposes, you know. And I'm sure the guy is not from Anambra State. Is he?
I think they say he's from Ebonyi State.
We Anambra people, Anambra people I don't think we.
All right, whatever it is, I don't think it's a good thing coming from a 19-year-old boy. In fact, no matter what age you are, it's not a good thing. Okay, let's look at the Southeast stakeholders brainstorming all count creating better business environment. They had a summit yesterday on a workshop on how to create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive.
That is the kind of thing we expect to have from time to time, you know. But my worry again, sometimes after such wonderful business session, you know, ideas are articulated, but you don't get to see it, you know.
All right, just to let you know that this is quite participatory. The numbers are on your screen. You can actually call us and join in the discussion this morning. Of course, we just started with stories making the headline on our ABS website. Now let's move on to our very first paper this morning, the Daily Sun. Stories making the headlines this morning on our Daily Sun. Bribery allegation. Oshomole threatened Saraki with court actions. It is an empty boast. Senate President is saying that. El Zazaki facing murder charges. El Rufai. I know how Boko Haram started. Now that's coming from Atiku. Minimum wage, governors can't intimidate workers. That's coming from Labour. 4 family members die after Amala meal. Wonderful. Interesting. Igbo can't achieve Biafra through war. That's coming from Wodo. Well, the big story, bribery allegation. Oshomole threatened Saraki with court action. And Saraki is saying it's an empty threat.
Well, this bribery saga, it's something that government, that is our courts do, should take serious interest in. If there were bribes taken during the primaries, of course, let them take Oshomole to court. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Please, we need you to speak up so we can all hear you.
Ike, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Oka.
Ike from Oka.
All right,
go
ahead.
on with your contribution.
So what I want to talk about is the issue of the problem in the house.
Go on.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So please, what I'm saying is that this is whatever we are doing, we should remember that we are in democracy. The members that are getting for change of leadership is their own right, participatory right as members of the House. Finally, whether you are a speaker or an honorable member, all of them are elected as ordinary members of the same platform. So whatever happens at the least is good for democracy. This is the beauty of democracy. Where there is no opposing vote in the House, it means that the democracy is not thriving. So I believe they should give a chance to express themselves. And whatever the stakeholders or elders are called.
All right. Thank you.
I believe they will have a better option.
Okay.
And participate in democracy. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ike.
Thank you, Ike.
Well, making great contributions there. I was still talking about, you were talking about the bribery issue before the call came in.
Yes, I said, in fact, there's no need sensationalizing all these issues.
Okay.
If a case of bribery is been established, let them take the man to court.
Okay.
That is simple.
All right, let's quickly look at this. I know how Boko Haram started, coming from Atiku. Of course, we know the presidential candidate for PDP is actually coming out boldly to say he knows how Boko Haram started.
Well, if he knows how it started, that is good. Then he will know how to stop it.
Oh, well, and that's basically why he's probably coming out to buy.
No, but it is also wrong for him not to have preferred solution to the problem before now.
Okay.
So if he knows, he should have known how to stop it. And if he didn't stop it all this while, for all these years, and so many people have died, then it is not proper. It is not.
Yes. Hopefully he can put an end to that. All right, let's look at the minimum wage. Governors can't intimidate workers. Labour is talking here. You know about the 30,000 minimum wage.
It's been dragging on and on.
And then some governors said that if they pay it, it's going to drain their pockets. And now the Labour is saying that they cannot intimidate workers. They have to pay the money.
In fact, Labour, before now I had thought Labour will insist on 50.
Okay, because I think that was the initial plan.
I'm telling you, but I don't know why they came down to 30, and then governors are saying they can't pay.
It's not even
Yes.
the governors on the one part are saying they can't
They
pay.
can pay, some yes, some say they can pay. But again, our problem is not just with the governors.
Yeah.
If there are mechanisms through which you can check all these things. Security votes and all that, all other votes can take good care of, the differential between 18,000 and 30,000.
Okay.
For me, I will ask governors to immediately accept the 30,000.
All right, let's quickly look at Igbo can't achieve Biafra through war. That's coming from Modo.
That has always been my position. Not through war, it is dialogue, dialogue, dialogue.
All right, quickly, let's go to the next papers this morning. Stories making the headlines on Daily Times this morning.
Strike. Federal government ASU negotiation deadlock. As varsity teacher flay governor or government over failure to improve education quality. NLC to governors, you can't intimidate workers with sack. Urges workers to vote out anti-labor governors. Says 30,000 was a product of intense negotiations. Our reforms are succeeding. Buhari is talking here. Impeachment. Anambra State's House of Assembly in turmoil as policemen tear gas lawmakers and others. Dabchi abduction saga. School reopens 9 months after government's invasion. 2019 polls. We will not fail. INEC chairman is talking. All right, let's look at the big story. The strike. We know that ASU embarked on a strike, and yesterday they were supposed to have a meeting with the federal government to see if they can call off the strike.
They did have a meeting.
Now
yesterday.
they did have a meeting, and we are being told that nothing fruitful came out of that meeting.
Yes, and I also understand that the negotiation is ongoing, and it will continue by next week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, that is our prayer, is that they resolve this issue as soon as possible. Because students are suffering. First year students are there. Some of them who traveled all the way from maybe some of them, Lagos, came to school here, new students. And then you can imagine young boys and girls coming to a new environment without guidance.
It's always painful.
And then the final year students who should by now have been preparing themselves for this thing. Nobody
Someone actually made a joke that the final year students are quite happy, like they're going, and as was like picked to,
All right. Let's look at 2019 polls. We would not fail. The INEC chairman is telling us, Nigerians, that they will not fail. They are going to make this election credible, fair, and transparent.
Well, I want to believe them. In Anambra, the election we saw in Anambra here is cool.
Okay, now they'll be going around the country.
Yes, and all through, again, the elections, we've been seeing improvement here and there.
Okay.
All over the place, in the different wards, all over wards in Anambra State, you see.
Let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning. All right, good.
You see them displaying the voters' registers and all that.
Okay.
But again, our people don't even come to collect. Most of the time, if you drive around, you see your INEC people seated, doing nothing. And people will not come to make their claims and objections. Neither would they come to collect their cards. But when it is late now, you see all of them rushing. And then they will pack all the blames on INEC.
All right, let's know who's calling. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good
Your
morning.
name and your location, please.
I'm Charles calling from Malta.
Charles
Hi,
from
Charles.
Oka. We are listening.
Yes,
Go
I
on.
want want to comment about the studies on Anambra Assembly.
Right?
You see, sometimes you put the cart before the horse. It doesn't work that way. All the assembly members were elected, including the speaker. So if they feel that speaker cannot carry them along anymore, cannot perform what they're supposed to do, they have the right to be free. Why suspending them? Even I had a trader season, some traders is there saying that the speaker. And what? Many people don't even know what's going on in the assembly there, and you say you suspend them. So the only thing is call them, know what their grievance is, not suspend them. That's not what the problem is. They are the problem.
All right.
So let the Afghan people call up this suspension, call the people to a round table talk, so that they will know their problem. Maybe the speaker is giving good ground. Nobody knows. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Charles. Thank
Another
you.
question is the impeachment. Did it follow the due process?
We'll talk more about that. Let's move on to the next paper this morning. The Punch newspaper stories making the headlines this morning. Beware of anti-workers governors. NLC wants Buhari will vote out governors against 30,000 naira minimum wage. That's coming from Labour. On top of the Punch this morning, EFCC arrests 23 OOU students, 12 others for internet fraud. Federal government ASU meeting deadlocked. Atiku Secondus PDP governors held crucial meeting. Saraki Oshomole in a war of words. 3 CJs lament delays in high-profile corruption cases. Banks refund 66 billion naira, $18 million orders to displeased customers. By election, gunmen attack APC candidate in Kwara. Boko Haram, Buratai deploys special forces, terrorists burn villages. Nigeria will be world's second biggest rice importer in 2019, USDA. Pastor arraigned for abducting, sleeping with married chorister. Well, let's quickly look at that. Let's quickly look at pastor arraigned for abducting, sleeping with married chorister.
That is the level of moral decadence in the society. If a pastor, a man of God, you could go to that level, then. But in any case, not all men of God are men of God anyway.
Okay.
You know, to open a church these days, it's so very simple. Hire a room, and then begin to do some magic.
All right, quickly.
About this. Nigeria will be the world's second biggest rice importer in 2019.
Why are you disturbed about it?
We'll be importing rice instead of exporting ours. It's quite disturbing.
That's
Because
actually
we
coming
have
from
look-
USDA. Well, I think they've actually looked at the whole scenario and what's really, going on, and probably they came out with that research and conclusion.
So
What would you have to say about that?
Well, but for I don't know who is giving that
USDA.
yes,
And we're going to get that story on page
maybe
28.
Maybe because the type of politics we do in this part of the country is rice politics, now. Trailer loads of rice coming for distribution and all that. I'm sure it is not from within. So they may think, yes, the election year has come, 2019, and now it's time for people to import rice because we use rice to do
Almost everything.
Politics. But I don't think so. Government
invested in agriculture.
in agriculture, yes, and it is still a banned commodity.
Yes.
Oh, well, let's hope that really doesn't play out, because it's not going to be very good for the food industry here in Nigeria. Now, let's quickly look at EFCC arrest 23 OOU students, 12 others for internet fraud. What would you have to say about that? Young guys today, they make this cool cash through the laptop, through the internet. And of course, EFCC arrested some recently.
Well, for me, the EFCC or the government should even pack all those boys, keep them somewhere, and then begin to see, what they can do.
Right?
The positive sides of it, yes.
Okay.
The positive side of it. This is because of unemployment. If you we say in English that an idle mind
is a devil's
is a
workshop.
devil's workshop.
Okay.
And so if you don't have anything doing, some of them may be sponsoring themselves in school. Their parents may be dead or not, or unable to sponsor them.
Yeah.
And then what do they fall back on it. And that is even part of why a lot of them also go into call to see how to rake money fast. But it is bad anyway, and youth should stay out of crime.
Stay out of crime.
It doesn't pay.
That's the message. Quickly, let's go to our last papers this morning. The Guardian newspaper is story making the headline.
Labour in dilemma over fresh minimum wage strike. Reps panel alleges plot to divert IDP's material is in Northeast. Grow more economic opportunity, not population, U.S. envoy urges Nigerians. Test anti-graphite with bribery allegation against Oshimole, Saraki tells Buhari. Then down here we have ICJ probes army shite clashes in Nigeria. Why INEC can't conduct credible election by Nyesom Wike. 4 family members died and others hospitalized after Amala meal. Wise evil won't be food on Atiku, says APC. Then we have to sue Saraki for alleging Oshimole is corrupt. Why PDP candidate is unsettling Buhari's camp. President unveils campaign wristband and affirms pledge to unity. All right, let's start with 4 family members dying after eating Amala meal and others hospitalized.
That is food poisoning, yes. That is too bad. May their souls rest in peace. But you see, that is there are different angles to that. The amala, the powder amala, may have been kept or exposed to one form of insects, dangerous insects, and all that. So that is why we should be very careful how we handle food materials, and then let our kitchens be clean, because that is the problem. It couldn't have been poisoned from outside.
Oh well, that's exactly the much we really can take on newspapers' headline this morning, and we want to say a very, very big thank you. Well, to Rotran Chuks Mweke, public affairs commentator. Many thanks for joining us this morning on the segment Newspaper Review.
Thank you very, very much.
Good to have you around. Well, you want to know more about the papers, then you can just go out, pick the papers, and of course get to read voraciously about what's really happening. And that's exactly how we end. Chidima.
No, we are going, but we'll be right back.